Tension is rising across the Atlantic and the stakes are high. A sharp new clash between Washington and its European allies is unfolding, centered on Greenland, sovereignty, and power. French President Emmanuel Macron has now drawn a clear line, promising a strong and united European response to what he describes as intimidation from the United States. Before we begin, if you want clear, engaging updates on global power struggles like this one, make sure to like this report and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us keep bringing you important international stories. Over the weekend, US President Donald Trump announced new trade penalties against 8 European NATO countries. These tariffs were introduced after the nations openly rejected his push for the United States to take control of Greenland. The countries affected are Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland. According to the announcement, a 10% tariff will begin on February 1st. This rate is expected to increase to 25% by June. The measures would stay in place until Washington achieves what Trump described as a full purchase of Greenland. The move has sent shockwaves through Europe, not only because of its economic impact, but also because it targets long-standing US allies within NATO. Macron responds with a firm message. French President Emmanuel Macron reacted quickly and strongly. In a public statement, he made it clear that France would not be pressured by threats or trade penalties. Macron emphasized that France stands firmly for the independence and sovereignty of nations, both within Europe and beyond. He stressed that no form of pressure would change France's position, whether the issue involves Ukraine, Greenland, or any other part of the world. He also warned that tariff threats are unacceptable in this situation and said Europe would respond together if the measures are fully enforced. According to Macron, protecting European sovereignty is not optional. It is a responsibility. Macron's message was not just about France. He underlined the importance of unity among European nations. European leaders, he said, are coordinating their response and intend to act as one. This sense of unity has already been visible on the ground. Several European NATO members recently joined Denmark in sending small military units to Greenland. These deployments are largely symbolic, but they send a clear message of support for Greenland's current status and Denmark's authority over the territory. European officials say the goal is not escalation, but reassurance. They argue that cooperation and stability in the Arctic are essential, especially as global competition in the region grows. Greenland is an autonomous territory under the Kingdom of Denmark, and both Danish leaders and Greenland's own authorities have repeatedly said the island is not for sale. They maintain that decisions about Greenland's future must be made by its people. Despite this, President Trump has renewed his long-standing interest in bringing Greenland under US control. He first raised the idea during his earlier presidency and has now returned to it with greater intensity. Trump argues that Greenland is critical to US national security. He claims the island is strategically important for monitoring and countering the influence of China and Russia in the Arctic. Both Beijing and Moscow have dismissed these claims, rejecting the idea that Greenland is central to their military strategies. The dispute has added to growing tension inside NATO. While European members stress unity and cooperation, uncertainty is building around Washington's long-term commitment to the alliance. NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte has so far avoided direct comment on the disagreement. However, President Trump has previously suggested that the United States could reconsider its role in NATO if allies block his goals on Greenland. Such statements have raised concerns in Europe, where leaders worry that political pressure could weaken one of the world's most powerful military alliances. As tariffs loom and diplomatic language hardens, the situation remains unresolved. Europe insists Greenland's status is not negotiable, while Washington continues to push its strategic case. What happens next could reshape trade relations, alliance politics, and the balance of power in the Arctic. For now, Macron's message is clear. Europe will not stand alone, and it will not be intimidated. If you found this report helpful and engaging, please like, share, and subscribe for more clear and reliable coverage of global affairs. More updates on this developing story are coming soon.